All right, here we go.
That's for sure. And we're live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There we go. All right. It's up on YouTube. Alrighty. So
Let
let's.
everybody fall through, come through, come through.
Yeah, I'm not
Do,
sure
do,
what it looks
do,
like on
do.
Patreon. So let's see. Okay.
Yeah, what they
So,
do? What they do? Hey, yeah, what they do? What they do? Hey,
let's
what they?
see.
What they do?
So,
What they do?
hello.
What's
We're waiting
happening?
for people to come in.
What they do? What they do?
All right, well, hey, guys, whoever comes in, we're going to get started. If y'all have any questions, be sure to hit the link if you're in Patreon. And if you are um, on Patreon watching, hey, guys. Well, the topic is whatever you want to talk about tonight, whatever questions you have.
Yeah, it's a trial. This is the first one of the live. Putting off, putting the water, trying to see what would be the best way to run this and the best way to conduct this.
Mhm.
Live. So, hey man, we're gonna let it flow.
I'm trying to make
Only
sure y'all.
only here to 10:30. Let's let it make it flow. Didn't know, now you know. Hey, step to the left, step to the right, spin around and break it down to the line. Let me see you.
You singing?
Oh shit! Oh, I mean, excuse my language.
Yeah, that's fine. You can sing to 'em.
Hey, so you got who was that in the chat? I can't see because I'm driving, baby. Who's that in the
It say jaw trucking.
yeah, what's
You
up,
said what's
John Trucking? What's
yeah,
the
what's the
topic?
topic? But it's
Man,
whatever
we
questions you all
listen,
have right
Q
now.
and
It's just
A.
a live Q&A.
Yeah, a live Q&A, man, whatever. Uh, coming up in the next following live, we definitely gonna have topics on things such as I just was sharing a video with my wife talking about how DOGE is, deregulating all the certain branches in the government, and one of those branches is going to be the postal service. And they're thinking about turning the postal service into some type of logistical business where they're going to start giving out more contracts to smaller individual carriers. There'll be a lot more ready available. Um, so that's a positive. So we'll be discussing things like that. But today we just want to talk about what you want to talk about. Any questions, things that y'all would like to see on the channel, things, information y'all want to know about, things of that nature, man. We're just trying to get a feel for it. It's the first live. Yeah.
Yes, first live in a while. So
Oh yeah.
if it's a little bootleg tonight, we appreciate y'all patience, but we're trying to just get whatever questions
Nah,
y'all
ain't
have.
nothing bootleg. We're just doing it in the best manner as we can right now.
Yeah.
Nothing bootleg, everything professional. Anything you got any questions, anything answer, we're gonna answer at the best of our abilities. Of course, I'm working right now because that's what we do. We practice what we preach.
Yes,
So
out there on the road.
on the road, coffee, 9 o'clock at night. I'm out here, it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm not gonna be back. I ain't even gonna tell you. I'm out here.
Yeah, don't say
I'm out here to the
that.
mall a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
But we can talk about the challenge if y'all want to talk about the challenge, how y'all have been doing on the challenge. If you have any questions on how to, maybe get some. Oh, hold up. I got comments right here. Okay, I see. Yeah, okay, I see. So right now it's just, we trying to work around Amazon and all the obstacles that come along with Amazon and still make some money, which I know a lot of people are having trouble with, from cancellations to, weird routes that they've changed to. And, it's just really
And man,
the
yeah, it's tough out here. I'm sorry, babe. I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, you good. Go ahead. We got another question.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, 5 star. That's
Oh,
the
what's
vet.
going on, brother?
The
Yes, sir. I mean,
AI bot. Are you talking
what
about the one that can book loads for you?
the one you negotiate with on the low board?
Oh, that one. Yeah, which
Mhm.
AI bot? The one that books that you can negotiate the loads. I've had no luck with it. They just
I
start
had,
so low.
yeah, they start low. If you spam it, like it goes up $7 to $15. Like it's real petty, but you can spam it, and I have got some luck with it. A low might start out at 350, and I say 400, and they'll say no, I can only do 367. Then I go up 425, and then they'll keep. You can kind of spam it, but it's really not as helpful. I don't even know why they have it there. That and that stupid promoted load thing.
Yeah.
It's not like we're buying something like
Yeah, like, ooh,
goofy
hot
shit.
sale, get this load. Like, no, I don't want to take that. But I don't know. I guess they're just trying a bunch of different stuff, but I haven't heard of anyone utilizing that bot to actually get loads because the prices they don't really negotiate too well. So maybe doing peak or something, it might be different, but as of right now, they just stick with their low price. So
And I mean, to be honest with you, like I had made a video before speaking about how subjective it is with this trucking industry, whereas we're not going to necessarily be able to tell you something as tangible as where you can just grab it and say, oh, yeah, this is a contract I could do, and this is for sure. The thing is, man, you got to really be, prepping yourself, preparing yourself and all, as well as being out here networking, because that's what it always comes down to, just about the type of connects and the type of information you're able to gain, the type of relationships you're able to gain with people. And just because we're able to just maximize on Amazon doesn't mean you're not able to do that in other sectors. So I we're professional with Amazon, we're gonna stick to Amazon. But that don't mean that you shouldn't go out here and get your twit card, you shouldn't go out here and get your
mhm.
hazmat. If you have the abilities to get a CDL, get a CDL. I know we got plans on getting into the rigs next year, but just get out here and networking, man, and get out here and get to talking to people. Because with a lot of things changing in the transportation industry with logistics, I need to continue to research this. But I know I've been speaking to a few guys. I don't know if I researched. I don't know if you looked this up, babe, about the EPA being deregulated, so now that what I mean, you're not obligated to have the DEF system in your truck. You can delete the DEF system out your truck. So there's a lot of things that's being changed in the industry, as well as a lot of freight is becoming more available. Getting access to the ports, like I said, getting that twit card is making yourself more well rounded as a logistics company is what's going to help you out. And being able to pivot. Sometimes you might not have to be in the box truck. You might get a contract dealing with sprinter vans or something. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I did see about the EPA regulation. Well, being deregulated, all those carb compliance and all of that stuff when Trump came in and signed all of the executive orders. But the whole thing with that is it's an executive order. Um it's not a codified law. So in the next 4 years they could change it back depending on who's in office. But for right now, it is. Oh, he said he's heading to Baltimore right now. But yeah,
Five
it's
star.
mhm.
Hey, be safe
But
out there, brother.
it's just so much changing right now, and it's really hard. I'm really excited to see what happens with Amazon and like the post office potentially being privatized, or like Cruz was saying, like if they do end up changing to a logistics company running freight for other departments of the government. Which I don't know how that's going to affect people with their government contracts if the post office takes over
Well, I know
other.
VNL. I don't see VN. I know right here in Virginia, and I'm pretty sure pretty much up and down the East Coast. They
Mhm.
had VNL, EFT Thompson, and 10 roads are like I know like one of the three biggest ones that run with them. I know VNL already had some of their contracts taken away. 10 roads don't run as much, and EFT Thompson had got some of their contracts taken away. So I know one of the biggest issues was the fact that they paid those companies so well, they was able to pay the drivers well.
Mhm.
So that'd be an issue far as once again, just like with Amazon, if you don't have you're not getting paid well, you're not able to pay your drivers well. If you have employees, per se, if you got employees, then it may not be as advantageous for you as somebody that's out here running their own truck. So, it's always a give and take and stuff, man. But we don't know yet. We don't know yet. So,
Right. Well, it'll just be interesting to see. Um, you know, a lot of this is just going with the flow and trying to get in where you fit in because it's just everything is so volatile. Like that's one thing I don't feel like a lot of people talked about when they said, get into trucking. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna get rich so quick. But it was like, you get in it and then you realize that it is up and down, up and down, up and down. And for a lot of us who came in around the pandemic time, it was a total different ball game where freight was just readily available. Everyone needed hands on deck. And now it's like really back to dog eat dog. And a lot of the
I,
older,
mhm.
like the older drivers and stuff, when you see all online and like even my daddy used to drive trucks. But he just hated everything that trucking had turned into at this point. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. No one really
Yeah, I mean,
that was the
once
time
again,
frame.
yeah, once again, I mean, be able to honest with you, like I said, I think trucking is very subjective. So it all comes down to you as an individual. There's not a set formula for you to be successful. And even during the pandemic, it wasn't necessarily a set formula for you to be successful. Yeah, people was ordering more, but there's still work out here. Things still have to be moved. Things aren't just
Mhm,
staying still. Things are still having to be moved. It was just a lot easier putting your face as far as work. Now you have to
mhm,
really search for it. You have to go out here and communicate. You got to be reliable, and that comes with being consistent. You got to be consistent. A lot of people don't want to be consistent. They got their foot in, foot out. Or they doing it hard for about a couple weeks and then kind of lose it or whatever. But it's just all about being consistent. I'm not saying that it ain't hard, but you have to be consistent, man. You have to build productive relationships.
yeah,
Productive relationships. I know everybody say, yeah, you'll get in contact with people, this, that. No, it got to be productive, man. Don't be wasting your time with individuals that's one taking your information and taking opportunities from you and aren't giving back. Make sure
mhm,
your you looking at your ROI, your return on investment. Even speaking with people and dealing with individuals out here on a personal level is, like I said, is an investment. When you're investing your time into someone, definitely on this business aspect, make sure you get a return on that investment. Don't just be the person giving out all the information and you're not necessarily getting anything back.
mhm,
Or you losing opportunities because you're running your mouth about stuff. So, but like I
yeah,
said, man, why we stick with why we stick with Amazon is because just like the basketball players, the basketball player is playing basketball. He's gonna tell you about basketball. He's most likely gonna be commentating basketball. When he retires, he's not trying to tell you about football. He's gonna stick to what he know. And I'm gonna stick to what I know. I know Amazon. I don't know too much about these other things dealing with trucking, which doesn't mean that there's not other stuff. We are just gonna stick to what we know and what works
mhm.
and what's consistent. So
And I mean,
I,
there's so many people that we talk to that run Amazon not quite as full time as we do. That they run the dashboard, they do moving jobs, they do other stuff. So I mean, there is still stuff out there for people who are just coming in or people who got their foot in the door with Amazon and now looking to branch out. But once again, it's just very volatile. And if you don't, like Cruz said, if you don't make yourself valuable, like that board, once you get a relationship with those brokers, I talk to people who run the dat board and they're like, until you prove yourself, then you won't be first in line to be called. And there's a long line of carriers trying to carry stuff. So if you get in with a broker or a shipper, you got to prove yourself that you're reliable, that you're not trying to negotiate a lot of rates, because a lot of times they'll just, bump you to the back of the line because there's someone who is willing to be a little bit more flexible and willing to pivot and willing to do things that, you might not be ready to do. And it's just, trying to figure out where you fit in. But once you get in that position, you stay there. You stay there. You want to be valuable. You want someone to always call you first. So it's just figuring out where you belong. And all right, so we got another comment coming in. All right, so I can't see you no more, boo. I don't know if you turned off your light or what, but I can't see you.
Oh,
Um,
for can you see me now?
yeah, there you go. All right, say, love your info channel. How do you deal with Amazon when you come out of the warehouse on time, but by the second stop you're running 30 minutes late, and by the end you're over an hour late? Um,
I'm gonna go ahead and answer this straight up like this. All right,
mhm,
now Amazon recently sent us an email about the clearing out saying that it could potentially mess up your score. So I say that with that forewarning with that before I say my statement. Just
yeah,
know that when
preface
you
it.
if you know about the clearing out app not detecting arrival, then you know. Now, for if you know you're gonna be late, one thing that you can do is before you leave out the facility, this is the best thing to do, honestly. Before you leave out the facility, what you're going to do is you're going to contact ROC. And when you
And request a
contact
call back.
ROC, you request a callback. When you
Mm,
request a callback, you let them know what's occurring, and what they're going to do is they're going to put it in the notes. And if you want to keep it, make sure that you don't get screwed over, do it at every stop. Put a note in ROC and say request a call back. Just, I mean, if you're the type of person, I know that's how we are. I try to protect our score by all means, just to have the greatest advantage. So I'm going to bug ROC, and it has worked
mm,
for years. Have them contacted, they put it in the notes. Because what happens is when you go back to dispute it, if it's still there, they see that ROC put it in the notes and they automatically just takes it off. So those are things I do.
yeah, it's
That
easy to
or
fight it with the paper trail.
yeah, fight with the paper trail. Or the second way is if you don't feel like dealing with that, like I said, you can clear out the loads. But mind you, this it triggers it if you're clearing out an entire load. If you keep, I want to say 50%, but I think if you keep more like 60% of the load up. So say for instance, you leave out, you make it to the first stop on time, but you're going to be late to the second stop. Clear out the second stop, and if you're going to be on time to the third stop, leave it up. But if you're going to be not on time to the third stop, is the caveat with this. You have to clear that load out, and then you have to sign out the app. And to make sure that you're super straight, you're going to hit the airplane mode. But you have to sign out the app because Amazon tracks you
Yeah,
even when you're not
yeah, yeah, they
on
track
a
you.
live load. But if
Yeah.
you're logged in, they're tracking your phone.
Yeah, and they're not supposed to. It's supposed to be only while you have the app running, but they track you the entire time you have the app logged in. So even if you've completed your load, they're they're tracking you. But yeah, there used to be a lot more ways around it, and Amazon is the only company that I've ever run anything for where they're that strict on the time, like 12 minutes to unload. I don't think that they've had the
I'm
ability
gonna be
to
honest
have,
with you. Yeah, go ahead. Go
huh?
ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, that was rude of me. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. But at some point they need to get out here and see what it's like to actually run a load, knowing that you might have anything happen. A pallet could tip over. You might be waiting on a mail truck, traffic, anything. And there's certain things that they'll just always say is carrier controllable. But it's like, how can you determine whether or not you're going to take 12 minutes to unload somewhere? The dock could be broken, and next thing you know, you got to use lift gate, and it's just no accommodation for that. So I'm not sure if they continue to take away all the things that, like we said, we expose a lot of loopholes, and it's not just us. Facebook groups. um I'm not on Facebook, but I've seen some groups that will put all types of stuff in their chats as if Amazon can't see that. And so by
Yeah.
all of this information, not only Amazon, but FMCSA too, the more that we say out loud, the more people are going to try to shut it down because they can. I mean, it's really no rhyme or reason why Amazon is so strict on that time when they know as long as everything gets there by 8 o'clock for real, everything should be good because they have time to sort it. You're showing up with a half a pallet, they can sort that in 2 minutes. But Amazon's like strict on that whole time aspect, and hopefully they let the reins up because they keep trying to say safety is their priority. I think that's like a PR stunt, but safety is their priority. But it really makes it unsafe, definitely for box truckers trying to race to the next stop. You could be on back roads and everything. But to answer your question, Jamie, we kind of went on a tangent. But to answer your question, you just need to put as many notes as possible, contact ROC, request callbacks, and dispute, and then give them even more information. If you have screenshots of something, if there's a really
Spam
valuable link,
ROC.
take pictures, and then you can go ahead and like upload those when you file your dispute. You can attach those. So just paper trail it and try to dispute it. But at the end of the day, the 6 weeks, if that's your only problem, it's like one late, then just take the hit and just, yeah.
But be
It's,
proactive. Don't take a hit if it's not your fault, though.
I
Like you
mean, yeah, if it's not
said,
your fault, but
if
if it,
it's not
you
your
know,
fault, paper trail. And even if it is your fault, even if it is your fault, hit up Amazon. Say this happened, right? You about to be late, and it's about to be your fault. Probably shouldn't be saying this. I don't care. If you about to be late, and it's about to be your fault, right? What you do is
remember this is live public, okay? I
you
don't know who
gotta
watch.
go over to the Patreon. Jamie, are you a Patreon member? I can tell you. Yeah, and I'm not gonna say it because Amazon be on. I don't think y'all. I'm telling you, people go to them meetings and we don't go because I'm working and we got our babies. I really don't fly like when they had it up in Northern Virginia. My wife went, but people always tell us they mention like we're one of the main YouTube channels that people mention when they talk about Amazon. Definitely inside the meetings, like the Amazon people do this. So it's like we gotta be super careful about what we say online because they change everything we done said. They done changed.
Yes, everything, everything. Why do you think
I'm
they
like,
made
yo,
tours? Because we're like, oh, we're booking multiple loads. They're like, oh, they have time for that. Let's throw them and chart and like pay $1.37 for it. Yeah. All right. D Skywalker said, can you discuss the speed limit on the relay? Oh, can I put this up? Okay, yeah. Can you discuss the speed limit on the relay navigation? Is there any leniency on how fast you can go without getting a violation?
at first I want to ask, how has Amazon hit you about violating the speed limit on there? Because I've been doing it for about 4 years. Here you go, bro. Appreciate it. I've been doing it for about 4 years, and I haven't. Amazon has never hit us up about the speed limit thing. So the advice that I'm gonna give you right now, I hope it be helpful. But I don't pay no attention to it. But I want to know if
Yeah.
have they emailed you about that though? Has that something that's something new to us because shit, I don't know. I don't pay no attention because Amazon be tripping. Amazon will say 35 miles per hour and you in the whole 55 miles per hour zone.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon will say that you can't go down a certain street and that's the street that you got to go down to get to the post office.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
like I said, I haven't ran into an issue where they emailed about that. But if you are running into situations where the speed limit on the app is exceeding the speed limit that is actually less than the speed limit that's on the street, you just want to screenshot it, send it to RC. Once again, paper trail is critical with Amazon. One thing that I will say about Amazon is if you just show them proof, they don't even argue with it. They just change
Yeah.
it.
I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen the violation thing, but I'll be honest, a lot of times I don't even use the Amazon navigation. I exit navigation and I just use, my GPS or whatever. A lot of times I just already know where I'm going. But like if you have it up and you're driving, following the app while it's still in navigation mode, I have seen that. And sometimes when if you just have the app still up, like I don't close out the app because that's an app disruption, but
Just
I'll
have it
just
in the
put it down.
background.
But
Just have
yes,
the app
it's running
running
in
in
the
the
background.
background.
But I mean, I've seen that, but it's never affected a score.
I've
So
never
I'm
seen
not
it. I
sure.
mean,
I'm
has
not
it?
sure
I
what
can't
that
see the comments.
does.
I can't see the comments, but did he say that it affected his score on that? I can't see the
No,
comments.
he said it's never affected his score. Can you see that?
They said I had 10 violations for speeding for 2 minutes long, but my score is still 100.
Yeah,
That's
I
something
haven't
new.
seen it affect the score. I'm not
They
sure.
could be, yeah, updating that. So in the near future, I will be following the speed limit on the app. I'm gonna be honest with you because Amazon is very anal about stuff. But once again, like I said, they app be very malfunctioning where you could be on a 65 mile per hour street and the app saying going 45. So you
Hmm.
would just want to take a screenshot of the sign and send it
Because
to
it usually
ROC.
pops up. It pops up on the app saying like, "Oh, you're speeding, slow down,
Man, that's
whatever."
gonna say the whole thing on mine. Shit, I be riding the whole time. It should be red. Man, and that shit no attention. That's because they be trying to tell you go
Oh Lord.
25 on the back road. I'm like, I'm good. I can go 35. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be red, and it'll be you going 25, going 29, and the shit'll be red. So
yeah. But I'm not sure how strict. Well, how that's going to affect anything like, you know, make you get suspended or something if you have certain
yeah, just be
violations.
careful.
I haven't heard
Yeah,
of anyone, but that don't mean it ain't gonna happen. So
yeah.
who knows? All right,
Don't
five
get
star.
speeding on safer though. If you get speeding and they update safer now, the Amazon has safer like
Oh, they have a
right there on
safer
their
like thing. Yeah,
yeah, now they
yeah.
got the safe like thing right there where it safer communicates with it immediately type thing. Now, yeah, you can get your account suspended.
Yeah. I don't know if
They're
y'all have
checking
gone
your
to that
safer.
tab,
Yeah,
but
they're checking safer a lot
yeah,
more
safe. Mm-hmm. All right, so 5 star asks, do you think Amazon will ever bring back 1 day payments or is that officially dead? If you
officially
go to the
dead.
rewards section, it actually has 1 day payment in one of the rewards things, but I
It's
haven't seen
market
it
based
actually
too.
be active.
It's market based too. I don't know. I don't know if they did it universal now with Amazon, but
Mm,
it was market based. I know out on the West Coast they were still doing same day payments.
mm,
It depends on where you at. It depends on where you at. Cause like I said in the video we did before, speaking about fences like 5 star, like we are. I know you're located right here on the East Coast corridor. The things that Amazon can get away with in Virginia is not the same things they can get away with in Kansas. They ain't got people running through there like that. That's why the prices are so high. And they have same day pay. They have a lot more
incentives.
incentives for you
Yeah.
out there in certain areas compared to right here, like I said, in Virginia. We're the middle corridor. We're between Florida and Canada. Everybody that's coming from Canada, Maine, New York, going down south, and majority and some uh Midwest areas, you got to come through Virginia. A lot of the
And
major
and Rick
ports,
5 is off of 95.
and Rick 5 is off
Like
95,
it's
and
right off
I
of
mean
95.
Rick
So
2 too is off 95. So it's like all and the Petersburg one, Rick 3
yeah.
is a lot of the we're the middle corridor. So it's people
Hmm.
can take loads for $1.25. I'm leaving Florida. I got a load. I'm going back home to Jersey. I'm coming through Virginia, and they got a load for $1.45. Shit, that's my diesel. I'm not tripping, and they're gonna take it compared to out like I said, Kansas or Wisconsin. Nope, that's not gonna happen. It's not
Yeah.
happening like that. Pittsburgh. Y'all check out the load board, man. For y'all that definitely y'all OTR individuals, stop booking loads going towards areas where Amazon is pushing because it'll be a lot more advantageous for you if you're out here booking loads on a dead board. You're going to more areas that have a lot more freight that's not concentrated with drivers.
Hmm.
If you're anywhere from here, from Virginia, going North Carolina, South Carolina, definitely Georgia, I mean, you in hella competition. People tell you all the time, you really not gonna catch much coming out of Florida. There's a lot of competition on the East Coast. There's a lot
Yeah.
of, I will say that the East Coast got more competition than California. One, because it ain't as regulated,
Hmm.
and then two, like I said, we're the middle corridor for all the major states coming on down.
Yeah. But you had said something I was going.
I get the
I
right
don't
number.
forget now. It's fine. But but yeah, the rates and things in Virginia right now, our rates are super. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Um, at some point, I think I'm gonna make a video just on strategy, not necessarily our strategy that we're running right now, but just different strategies for like including Amazon if you aren't doing it full time in one area, but just different ways to utilize Amazon. Um, and one of them is the OTR type situation where you're like positioning yourself, taking a load to a place that allows you to pick up from an area that is like, I don't know what's going on in different areas, but a lot of times, like right now, Detroit, their contracts are the highest on the low board right now. If you go to their contracts, they were all over like 500 something dollars. So I don't know what's going on in Detroit right now, but if you can make your
Once
way
again,
there
it's Michigan.
and then run it,
It's not a coastal state.
yeah.
You're not
I mean,
pushing drivers through
Wisconsin,
there like that.
Wisconsin is always like at the top of the board,
Yeah, I mean
but
these
right
coastal
now Detroit
non.
is up there.
Mhm. You gotta push towards area where people are not running. Like people like to go towards areas that they're somewhat familiar with. You gotta go to those areas where it's not pushing.
Hmm.
You gotta go to them areas. Shit, when we was out Colorado, if I knew anything when we knew, shit, we probably would
Yeah,
have made hella money out Colorado.
we just didn't.
Yeah.
That was like our first week with Amazon. We had no idea. I'm waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning, like, oh, let me see what Amazon has.
No, Colorado was before Amazon. We ain't know nothing about no Amazon in
No, we
Colorado.
had that was when we first. I thought that was when we first. Was that Tennessee then?
That was Tennessee. It wasn't no
Okay,
Colorado.
wherever we was, I
Colorado,
was
we ain't
like,
know
oh, let
nothing. I
me
wouldn't
pull up
been on
the
no damn
board, and
Colorado.
it was 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to find a load. I'm like,
Yeah, nah, I didn't know. Ain't know
you
nothing
live
about
and
no
you learn though.
Amazon.
Yeah. But also I was looking up, new facilities since, like we said, if the post office is changing up something, I'm not sure how that's going to affect Amazon. I know they've been putting a lot of new facilities out that are like
It's not going to affect
XCVs.
Amazon.
No, I'm talking about like them delivering their own freight because
Who? You
they
talking
were
about
already
Amazon
trying to
delivering
build.
their own freight?
Yeah, they building like all them XCVs, like XCV 5, 7, whatever here. Those type of the flex facilities where they have the drivers pick
Still
up
gonna need
the more,
us.
huh?
Still gonna need us. Still gonna need box truckers.
Yeah, I know they still gonna need us, but I'm saying this is how our conversations go, guys. So I know they're gonna need box trucks, but I'm saying I'm looking to see how many more facilities they plan on building in the next few years. If it was like no article saying that Amazon is still building, then I would be concerned. Like, oh, well, maybe they ain't really gonna keep this program going. But when I looked it up, there's like 170 new facilities. North Carolina was getting
Mm.
a handful of facilities, and there's just a bunch of areas that are getting facilities, whether or not they're like full fulfillment centers or flex centers or whatever. But looking at that information also helps you to you know kind of judge what to expect, even though they don't really communicate that with us, but it could put us ahead of the ball instead of us just reacting
Yeah, I mean, at the
to the
same, and
situation.
then also for my big business people out there, because when you said that, it I hate using the word, but it triggered me because there's a lot of people that
I'm all triggered.
for some reason I don't know want to pray that Amazon ends and saying that all y'all box truckers is doing Amazon. I like trust it's not very advantageous for them to not utilize the box truckers. But for y'all
Yeah.
big people that's big people that big minded about their business, not really trying to expand. These DSPs are opportunities for you as well. I mean, I don't know how much of a headache you want, but these DSPs don't have to be big. You know what I mean? 2 acre buildings on 2 acres, and you got to hire 500 employees. Man, you can get little shop like two shops
A
inside
little
like a
storefront.
shopping center, little
Yeah.
storefront. You got 20 employees. Get the vans. Shit, man, you up there. I know that was something we was looking into. I think it's about what you. It's not even a lot. You gotta pay 30,000 and just have $40,000 in your account. So it's not like it's something they're trying to, pull like we're trying to take it to the walk to the cleaners with. But I don't know, man. I know that's a more of an opportunity for us box truckers out here, definitely small box truckers, small fleets by opening up these facilities. That means that Amazon they can push out more freight. I don't think when you say, like pulling from the post office, I don't think that it would necessarily pull freight from the post office. I think that's going to allow them to send out more freight so
Yeah,
they
that's what
can
I'm saying.
promise
I'm
that same
excited
day
about
more.
it.
Yeah,
I'm excited
it's
about
gonna
it. I'm
yeah.
I'm thinking like that's what I'm saying. If they're going to replace the post office situation, all that freight that normally go to a post office, and instead it's going to like I forgot the type of facility it's called, but we got XCVs, but pretty much where they drop them off there, and then all the flex people come, or the people who drive their own cars, then that means that they're going to build more of those facilities out in rural areas to cover whatever the post office would have delivered. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen if the post office ends up having to be privatized, because everyone can't afford to run Amazon. That's why it's only select post offices. Not every post office delivers Amazon. They have to decide whether or not their specific location wants to even do that.
Well, Amazon they get paid for doing that. They
Yeah,
get paid.
they get paid for doing it, but
That
they got
post
to have
office
the
get
employees.
paid for doing it.
They would have to
Oh
have the
yeah.
employees, and if they privatized, who said they can afford it?
But if they privatize, it'd be in their better interest of them to accept Amazon because that's an additional income, a guaranteed income. So I see if they privatize, they're going to take those bottom line measurements and pivot towards what's more. Once
Their bigger,
again,
like one of their bigger contracts.
yeah, well, I know I'm guaranteed that work because all of this what I could call spam mail that they're delivering is unnecessary. You got unnecessary man hours being utilized on paper that's being thrown away. People don't need that stuff. Stuff is digitized now, so you don't even have to necessarily give me coupons. I can have the coupons on my phone, and I can not have to run around with all this paper. It's better
Hmm.
for the environment, and I can show my phone in the store on my coupons. So I don't need you to deliver coupons. I don't need you to deliver me my bills because my
Yeah.
bills are all digitized. So the things that I believe when they privatize is going to make the post office operate as a private entity rather than a public entity because we both know that anything ran by the government it don't run efficiency. Anything ran a public, it's not going to be ran efficiency. When you make things privatized, they have a bottom line. They have to attach themselves to that bottom line. So they're
Yeah.
going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they're being profitable. And the only way to be profitable is to stick to what you know and the guaranteed work is Amazon. So they're gonna be
Yeah.
doing. They're gonna still be working with Amazon, FedEx, and UPS. So
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that works out. you know, we'll see. I don't think Amazon's going to fail because of that situation, though.
I don't think that it's gonna fail, but I think that we need to start taking more interest in what trucking is. For instance, people do not pay attention that Amazon has reefer contracts. For those
Mm-hmm.
who have reefer trucks, man, they are getting into the because Amazon has grocery stores now. So
Mm-hmm.
Amazon is getting into the transportation of produce. People that live in rural areas, you got produce. Amazon is getting into you know, I don't want to say the farming, like the moving the chickens and stuff. I don't know if they necessarily doing that, but I know they're doing the produce stuff, man. They're doing a lot of produce. And if you're near the sea or you near areas where they're doing seafood and stuff like that, man, they got those opportunities as well. So make sure that you're exploring on that load board the stuff that they have for the type of equipment. Don't relegate yourself or limit yourself to one type of opportunity here in logistically. You know, try to explore the other things, even if you're just looking into it. Once again, we sticking to what we know.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Any more questions, guys? We don't want to just run our mouth. We want to
I
make
don't
sure we
mind running my
answer.
mouth.
I mean, we can run our mouth.
I
we
don't
can,
mind
but
running my mouth
we want
because
to make sure that we
we
answer y'all
build
questions.
it. Yeah, hey, y'all, make sure y'all answer your question for those who are not a free member or a paid member on Patreon. Man, make sure you get over there because we're giving a lot of value over there that we cannot necessarily get online over here. Okay, the things that you want to hear, far as love tricks and whatever to get around stuff, man. Those things that we can't put on YouTube. Those things that we're going to put on Patreon, man, as well as just building a community around like-minded individuals that want to excel together, man. When we with this type of community, we have to start communicating in the chat. There may be something in your state, there may be somebody there may be a truck you trying to sell. There could be anything going on. We have to communicate and we have to be willing to share with one another because this is such a small niche, whatever the word is, that there's not a lot of people attached to this type of industry, man. So the people that are in this industry, the best way for us to advance and really, and really maximize on what we can do in this industry is we're communicating effectively and sharing information, productive information, of course, man.
Yeah.
So that's the big reason for that Patreon, man. We're trying to build a community where who knows? Like I said, man, I don't know what was that contract ATS
With who?
with that I did that I end up not doing it just because I didn't even upload. It's like we be having contracts with
Oh.
companies that we have opportunities with
Mm.
that just because like I said, man, I'm not gonna sit here. I don't jump in and out the board. We ain't doing that. We sticking to what we know. If we can fit it into what we know, then that's cool. But like I said, with that Patreon, man, we have that type of information. When we come across contracts, we're gonna put it over there of contacts of people that could potentially give you work in your state. So
Mm-hmm.
just make sure you get over there to that Patreon, man. Support the cause.
Mm-hmm.
Support the
Yeah.
cause.
And plus, a lot of times, like I said, the more information that is not so publicized, it's kind of like hopefully we can hold on to stuff a little longer so that other people, Amazon, whoever else is watching, who is watching for the sake of making changes to make it more difficult for us, they have to dig a little deeper than just pulling up Amazon Relay on YouTube. So,
And we're going to make this, and everybody get off here in a few, because this was more or less our first like trial run, and we're going to start doing this like once a week. Hopefully, I'm trying to do this once a week. So another thing that we need for everyone to do is, if there's stuff that y'all want us to talk about, information you want us to explore, is there like I said, things about regulations, far as with the FMCSA, things that is updated you're not familiar with, let us know. And we don't mind researching. We love reading, looking this stuff up, and then we can communicate that. We can make videos that you feel that is valuable. Any criticism, if we're not communicating well, make sure that you're letting us know. Is there things that we're not talking about and we're wrong on? Once again, this is a community and we are here to grow. We are here to grow. We are here to grow. So we have to communicate with one another. And yeah, pretty much that's pretty much it, man. So with these upcoming lives, we will have topics. We'll start out with a topic, and then we'll discuss that topic, and then we'll have a Q&A. You got any questions? And then yeah, we'll go like that. And as it advances, more things can come about. But um also, I want everybody to look forward to some of the interviews that we plan on putting out on the platform. We're gonna have interviews with other successful drivers. Any information and advice that they may can give that could be helpful. Look out for those things. Yeah, make sure you're paying attention to the contract videos where we're discussing the contracts, the difference between the contracts and the auctions, which is another thing that Amazon is kind of pushing drivers to doing. So if you're looking at the load board right now and you're wondering why you're not seeing any of the close loads, or definitely right here for people definitely in Virginia, but this could be, pretty universal. But if you're saying that you're not seeing as many loads, Amazon is putting a lot of these loads on the tours and putting them on the contracts.
mhm,
So just know that they're pushing towards people dedicating their truck to the business a lot more, as far as they're trying to get you for 8 hours and they're trying to utilize you for that 8 hours. So a lot of the loads that they do have on the load board are not going to pay you as much. I know right here in Virginia. So
yeah. Well,
yeah, any questions, man, before we get off, man? I truly appreciate it. 5 star, brother. Make sure you being safe going up there in Maryland. You know how it is going up there to Baltimore. Um, any questions before we get out of here?
yeah,
We're
Jamie, hold on.
uh-huh.
Jamie K said, "Are you going to have any openings for Lisa anytime soon?"
Yep, that's one of the interviews that we got coming up. I have my lease on partner that I'm going to do the interview with him. He's going to explain the lease on program. Y'all can get a better feel of how that program is ran. Also, this individual has their own platform that is pretty successful, definitely on the TikTok, but this individual could definitely explain more of the aspects of how the lease on program is going to work once you join and things of that nature. Once again, we're partnering together, so yeah. But I'm gonna have that up. The lease on program is going, so if you're interested, definitely email. I know at first we had a issue with the lease on program. People didn't understand about the application. No, you can fill out the application, send it in, and we can process your application and go over it and let you know the cost and what it would be to actually join the program. So you don't have to make an additional deposit, you don't have to make a deposit before you fill out the application. You don't have to pay for the leasing program before you fill out the application. If you're just interested in the lease on program and you want to know how much it costs, the benefits that you can get from the lease on program, the things that we can help you with, help you get to, and how we can mentor you into a successful trucking business, then just simply fill out the application. But where you at, that they all whatever's an application, send that in, because it is absolutely imperative that we know who we're dealing with. So this application allows us to see who we're dealing with so that we're not messing up the DOT numbers, okay? Don't be offended that if we're asked for your driver's license number, so that we can run your MVA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean MVR, I say MVA. So we can run your MVR. We need to know if you got any wrecks or anything of that nature. You have any violations that could potentially cause, the DOT number, man. We want to do this correctly.
And
So
if you do, sorry, but just
mhm.
quickly, if you do have situations that are making it difficult for you to get onto your own DOT, and you're like, well, I got this moving violation, I got this, whatever. That doesn't mean that we're going to say no, or whoever's looking at the application is going to say no. It just means that we rather see that up front so that we can make a better decision and who is accepted versus just allowing everyone to come on, and then next thing you know, there is no lease on program because the DOT, everything got messed up. So
Exactly, and we're going to not get as much information about that right
yeah.
here because it needs to be conducted professionally, and we know Amazon is paying attention to us. So if you got questions about that lease on program, email.
Right.
What else? It's something else I want to say, and I'm supposed to have this done prior beforehand. But there's an app called Connect with Me, and it's a phone number app. So for those who have questions that do not want to pay for consultations, we will have this number. It's a Connect with Me number. They charge by the minute. It goes from anywhere from $1 up to whatever we charge. Whatever you want to charge. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna be somewhere probably around the $5 marker. That we probably charge per minute, like $5. So say if you just had a quick question, you only need 10 minutes of my time. You didn't want to pay for the whole. I don't know what our consultations are right now. I believe they're like
Oh no,
$200 or something.
175, but fat. I don't know. We'll talk about the price.
It's $5 a minute. It's five
$5 a
dollars a
minute.
minute. Yeah, it's $5 a
Tip.
minute. So
Okay.
yeah, it's $5 a minute. So I mean, it could go down lower. It could go down lower. But time is viable. All your time is
Yeah.
viable. Okay, don't let nobody. All your time is viable. Anyway, we're gonna have this number. So if you got those type of questions, and also you want to support motivation, what I mean, call that number and we'll be able to. You can call it anytime. Like you don't have to set a schedule or anything like that. So
All
yeah,
right, just
definitely get
quickly,
in there.
let me get these other some comments that came through. So Fast Star was saying he doesn't recommend the 5-day, 13-hour contract. Yeah.
I would say that I would agree with those. I would agree with that to an extent. I think we talked about that before 5 star. But the thing is, brother, I think that it is very beneficial to those who absolutely don't have any work because we can break it down. We can break the numbers down. So if a contract is starting at a 485 with accessories and fuel, you'll probably be coming out more like at 550 to $600. They're gonna have you between 10 and 13 hours. We can look at the situation like this. Uh, Most of the time when they do have you running, it's going to be somewhere between 250 to 350 miles round trip back to your domicile. So overall, you're looking at probably round trip close to $1.50 to $2 a mile. If you're looking at the average amount of loads you're getting a day, if you're only running one or two loads and that equaling out to $600 to $700 anyway, maybe sometimes not even that. A lot of times only equaling out to $500, and it's not as consistent and it's not guaranteed within those 5 days you're able to make 500 plus. Is very beneficial to those that's in that type of position. So if you're trying to make $3,000 for the week, 2,800, $3,000 for the week without the headache, then I say that is beneficial. Once again, it call your overhead. How much does it cost for you to run these loads? I know for us, it doesn't cost that much to run a load. I know a lot of these trucks, it don't cost that much to run these loads in the sense of you having to put a whole lot of diesel in. So $3,000, but you only spent for the maybe $600, let's say upwards of $700 in a week, you're still coming out with $2,300. Now, once again, that is also predicated based upon your overhead. So if you don't have a rental and you're operating on a truck that you own, then I definitely see that as a benefit. Second thing with the contracts as well, which you gotta go watch our videos, is also predicated on your score. So if you have an A plus compared to somebody having a C plus, you're going to get better options on the contractual loads with the A plus compared to the C plus.
Right. But if you do want to maybe run less, because those 13 hours they are going to use you and they're going to give you tours, and sometimes those tour legs are canceled, so that 13-hour kind of gives them a lot more time to um play more games with the type of loads that you get versus the 6-day 8-hour. They just can't fit that much into the hours of service that they've allotted. So it is one additional day, but it could potentially be less work. We've never run a 6-day contract. Well, have we? The
No,
first one we
no,
ran was
no.
5 days too. So
Oh,
but it
I've
depends
never
on what
been
the
such a
starting
six.
base price is. You know, if you pick the 13-hour, just know that, you know, if you aren't willing to do that for $300, then don't pick the $300 contract. Because yeah, someone definitely, he said, you know, someone living closer to the origin. Yeah, because if you're traveling to Rick 5 to pick up Rick 5 and then they bring you back to Rick 5, but then you still got a day head back down, you know, the 7 cities, then yeah, it's going to have you going, it won't be as beneficial to you. Um all right, so it said I've been running Amazon in Charlotte for a month now. How long do you have to run before you can book contracts and auctions? It tells me they're still evaluating. Um for a month. I
Did
think
you
it's
do the
isn't 6. Do you have a score? You got a score? Hold on, that was, yeah, he said he had a 100. Um I'm not sure what the probationary time period is. If you haven't taken the course online as well, that might be holding you up. Um Normally you have to take the course before you can book any of the contracts or auctions, and it might take the second cycle around because they, you know, they update the auctions on a weekly basis. So you might have to just wait until the next set of auctions comes out. But I'm not sure. Normally when they had stuff like that, it was a 6-week probationary period before you could get full access to the low board. It may be a bit longer now. You know,
but
it
definitely
changes
contact
stuff.
ROC though.
Huh?
Email all telling
D Skywalker.
D Skywalker, contact ROC, and they'll give you the contact to the. I think they have the contracts on the thing. Contact them and let them know, and they could retroactively bypass that and kind of let you get in there. So I would definitely hit up ROC.
Yeah, he said he has an A+ and he's taking the course. Also, I don't know if y'all pay attention to the fact that they have DDU calls every week and they have box truck calls every other week, I believe on Wednesdays. So
Are they
getting onto
productive?
those calls could really help to answer a lot of those questions, because
You
we're
think
running
so?
it from the carrier perspective. A lot of things that they make changes behind the scenes, we find out along with everyone else, and we try to figure out a way to, you know, navigate around those situations. But a lot of stuff we just don't have answers to because they don't allow us to really know what's going on behind the scenes. But if you at least reach out on one of those calls, they can connect you with the right people. A lot of times they take your
We'll
carrier
do that.
information down, and then they'll go
We'll do
ahead
that.
and work on it on their own, and try to resolve try to resolve those issues for you if you're on the call. So if you don't know how to find that, you would go to the website relay website, and then it's like at the top right hand corner, all of those
Mhm.
things like where you get notifications and things, like if you're running late, that whole bar, it's a little small circle with a question mark in it. If you click on that, it pulls up the whole Chime list of meetings and the dates and the times. So click on that and then join the Chime meetings.
Yeah, and get into the chime of your middle mile manager as well. So when you go inside of your domicile, what is that, CLT 5 for Charlotte?
I'm not sure what he's running out of, but probably.
I think it's CLT 5. Whatever you running out of Charlotte, ask to get on a chime list, chime
Yeah.
thing, where then you can contact your middle mile manager, which is the manager for all of the carriers in your area.
Hmm.
For if you have questions or any issues with your, well, now they saying they can't do nothing about the score, but really it's anything, at least get to your middle mile manager, because there might be some things that you need help with. Get on that chime so that you can contact the middle mile manager.
Yeah. And though they keep changing as well. So I mean, sometimes they don't know either, but hopefully they can at least connect you with the right person. Um, to help figure out it, because it could just be a IT issue. A lot of people have a lot of IT
That's
issues
why I
that,
said call RC, yeah, because it could be an IT issue and you could be able to book contracts and they just have to switch something off for you.
like that was a big issue when I went to that meeting. Um, Sorry guys, a lot of people were complaining that they had an A, they had all this, but their access to their load board when they were comparing it to other carriers that had a similar score, they were seeing a whole different load board, and it was something going on with IT behind the scenes that they needed to fix. So that could be your issue as well, unless they're just going to say that you haven't been running long enough. So don't know.
That's for sure.
All right. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Boo?
Nope. Look out for us next Sunday. I miss doing lives, and I like this. And if I'm gonna be in the truck at nighttime, hey, this is a great time to, talk about stuff. So look out for us next Sunday around the same time, 9:30.
Yeah, I think 9:30 is a better time. I
Yeah,
was trying
nine
to push
thirty.
9, but yeah,
Yeah, 9:30 good. So
9:30 is
look out
better.
for us next Sunday. You got any questions? You want to be brought up on the screen and talk as well. We're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be learning that, how to do that, and things of that nature. And
Yeah,
yeah, man, I really appreciate y'all stopping through. Stay motivated, keep trucking, be safe out there, 5 star and everybody else.
yeah,
All right,
definitely.
be
All right,
safe
guys.
out there,
Thank you for
man.
joining us. Yeah, see you next Sunday.